Hello, Auto Trader people. My name is Jody Lai, and I'm the editor-in-chief of Auto Trader. And today we are in the middle of the Mojave Desert in California, driving the brand new Kia EV9 for the very first time. Now, this SUV is Kia's first ever 3-row fully electric SUV. And not only is it a first for Kia, it is the first mainstream automaker to come out with a vehicle like this, period. So it's really going to be a game changer for a lot of drivers out there with big families who drive SUVs, who always wanted to switch over to an EV but didn't yet have an option to do so. And this EV9 will open a lot of doors for them. And we're here today to find out what it's all about.
For more expert car reviews, don't forget to share our channel and subscribe so you can catch some of this and maybe even a little of that.
So we've been driving the all-new Kia EV9 all day in the desert, and so far I gotta say I am very impressed by what Kia has done here. So size-wise, the EV9 is about the same size as a Kia Telluride, which makes a lot of sense. The only differences really are that it's a little bit shorter, the wheelbase is a little bit longer, and the body is a little bit longer as well, but dimensionally they're quite similar. And it's great. In the second row, there is tons of legroom for people, and even in the third row, I can fit back there pretty comfortably as well. And I really love that the Kia EV9 has all sorts of really great clever storage solutions. There's little cubbies for everything, which is amazing. And in general, everything is just really clever. And I love to see that every passenger gets fast charging USB ports, which is really great to see. Another thing I really love is the exterior design. I think they absolutely nailed it with this design. So not only does it come in a whole bunch of cool colors like this great blue one I'm driving, you can also get it with matte colored paint right from the factory. It has these really great wheels, and it has a bunch of really cool features that I think EV lovers really get into, like the flush door handles, the really interesting wheels. One highlight is definitely the light signature. I think they did a really great job with the lights to make it look very modern and fresh and very high tech, which is great. So unfortunately, during this test, we didn't get to leave this kind of secret testing facility. So my driving impressions are a little limited, though we did take it on a little off-road course. We did do a slalom with it, and we took it around a high-speed oval. And so initially, I'm really impressed by the driving dynamics. The steering has a very nice, heavy weight to it when you're at speed, which is great because it makes it a little bit more engaging. At low speeds, it's nice and light, so it's easy to park with one hand if you needed to. Dynamically, it is great because it has a really low center of gravity, you know, so you don't really feel a lot of movement in the corners. It feels really planted and solid. And another thing that really surprised me was how tight the turning circle is. You know, for a vehicle with a wheelbase that is this long, it honestly turns on a dime, and I was really impressed by that. So in Canada, we are going to have two models basically. One is the entry-level rear-wheel drive model, which is called the Wind. It's a very weird naming convention, I know, but like we'll deal with it, it's fine. So that model will give you about 480 kilometers of range, which is great. That rear drive model also has 200 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. It's not break your neck fast like a Tesla or something like that, but it is more than enough power to get you to where you need to go. Passing on the highway is super easy. You'll never really find yourself wanting for more power. The other model we're gonna get is an all-wheel drive model called the Land. And so this one is dual motor. It has a little bit less range at 435 kilometers, but it does have more horsepower and more torque. The horsepower figures are 379 horsepower and 443 pound-feet of torque, which is fantastic. The other interesting thing is that the rear drive model is capable of towing 2,000 pounds, and the all-wheel drive model is capable of towing 5,000 pounds, which is actually so great. The only thing to look out for is that obviously if you're towing, it's going to eat up your range pretty quickly, so just keep that in mind. But it is really nice to know that it's capable of all that, and it has a trailering mode that'll help you get set up, and it will adjust the range estimates based on how heavy that trailer is, and it does all of that automatically, so that's really great to see. The other great thing about this EV9 is that it offers 800 volt super fast charging, which can get the battery from 10 to 80% in about 25 minutes, which is great for road trips. If you have a 240 volt plug in your garage or your driveway, you don't actually need to install any specialized equipment to charge this. It comes with an onboard charger that is capable of level 2 charging, which is great for overnight. The other thing that's really cool is that it does vehicle to load, so you can use it to power your camping supplies or your accessories, but it can also do vehicle to home and vehicle to grid. If you live in a place that enables that, I think it's great to take advantage, and I think that it's really cool this Kia comes with all that great tech. So besides all of that, I'm also really impressed by how practical the EV9 is. You know, they really kept those road tripping families in mind. Not only is it super roomy, there's USB ports for everyone to charge their stuff. There's tons of clever little storage cubbies to keep all of those knickknacks kids seem to collect. And in general, it's really easy to get in and out of the second row and the third row. It's easy enough that I think a kid could do it on their own. You know, you just push one button and it does it all in one motion. And even in the trunk, there's buttons back there to stash the second row automatically and put them back upright again, which is really smart. And I really love that when you push that button, it slides the seats back as well. So when they fold down, they don't get caught on the front seat backs. And that's just a really clever touch. The infotainment system is also pretty user-friendly. I like that they have a permanent setup here that has hard buttons for the climate control, and it has this interesting panel of haptic touch buttons on the dashboard that kind of disappear when the car is not on. So it gives it a really clean and uncluttered look, but you do have to push it. I wish you could kind of just tap it instead of pushing it like a button, but that's honestly such a minor thing. In general, I think everything is really user-friendly. I jumped in and immediately knew how everything worked and where everything was, so I really have no complaints there. So this Kia EV9 is the brand's new flagship model. What that means is that this is the absolute best that Kia can offer right now. So in terms of technology and performance and design, this is the pinnacle of what Kia has right now. And after driving it all day, I'm really happy to report that I think they really nailed all of those details. I think everything is very smartly packaged. The driving dynamics are great. There's lots of tech that is very clever and useful that you can get excited about. And besides all that, I just think it's really family friendly and practical. So it absolutely nails that assignment. I can't wait to drive this thing back home in Canada so I can give you a full week-long review. And because I know you're all going to ask, the Kia EV9 isn't going to be available until the fourth quarter of this year. And that means that they haven't announced pricing yet either. And I wish I was able to tell you about that, but they can't tell us. So once this thing gets closer to production, we'll make sure to update you with all those details. Until then, drive safe, and thanks for joining me.